Apple is actually a company that they care about you. They care about your privacy. They look after you, and they're coming up with a new solution to stop spyware. And we've seen spyware become prevalent on phones over the past decade or so with these companies like NSO Group, based out of Israel. And the NSO Group is a company. They basically look at like any kind of vulnerabilities or anything like that in Apple and Android phones, and then they package together these deals and they sell it off to foreign actors and countries that are in line with Israel. And it's
Yeah, I
supposed to
think
be
that
used.
you've been watching a little too much of the
No, this is all.
Jason Bourne
This is all.
films.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is all alleged. But
Well, this is all like Jason Bourne films, right? Like this isn't
yeah, yeah,
reality.
yeah, 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 yeah. Not reality,
Yeah.
but it was supposed to be used to catch like terrorists and drug traffickers and like you know these people that like the children. But now it's being packaged up and it's being used to control these journalists and being controlled to you know control these journalists and such. And what Apple's doing is they're coming up with this system where if they see that your phone is infected by a foreign government, the keyword is a foreign government. It wouldn't be for domestic government. It would be for foreign government. I want to stress that it'd be for foreign government. Keyword there is foreign. That they would send you a notification via text and an iMessage to notify you of this threat. And we've seen this with the ISI. You got to worry about the ISI and this lockdown mode. It's basically when you enable lockdown mode, any link that's sent to you in iMessage, you can't click on it. Like no links will come through on iMessage, and it blocks FaceTime calls from anybody that hasn't previously FaceTimed you before, and only websites that you approve can you visit. So it would stop any kind of like JavaScript or DNS poisoning attack.
Okay, can I explain something to you that maybe you don't know about?
Sure.
And this is all alleged, of course. So what you're explaining, this lockdown, is this? I mean, from what you're saying, is this basically what Apple's doing? They're just kind of stopping like phishing and like link sending or whatever, and you clicking on it. Is that really what it is?
Right. They're stopping smishing attacks.
Okay, so I will tell you this. So what you're describing is a solution to what is allegedly, purportedly Pegasus One. Pegasus One is, some would say, in a vacuum, what Jeff Bezos fell victim to, where his phone was hacked and they got into it, and the National Enquirer blackmailed him and all this other bullshit. That, it was a link that MBS sent him, and got it and used to get into his phone. Pegasus 2, and this is all, like I said, in a vacuum, of course. Pegasus 2 is you can get into anyone's phone as long as you have their phone number. They don't even need to click anything. That's what Pegasus 2 is. So what you're explaining
That's
would
the point of
purportedly
blocking the
stop
calls.
Pegasus 1.
It blocks calls
That doesn't
from.
matter. As long as you have someone's phone number, you could use Pegasus 2 to get into it. You don't even have to send them a link to get in.
And how is that?
I have no idea. If I knew how they did that, don't you think I'd work on a solution and sell it?
I don't know. I think this. I don't know. I think Apple would come up with a solution to protect against these foreign governments.
Don't
I
you
think it
remember
probably.
what happened in the case of San Bernardino? Do you remember that?
No, I do not.
Okay, so in the case of San Bernardino, there was uh, an attack. Let's call it what it is. There was an attack, and uh, authorities wanted access to the gentleman's cell phone who perpetrated the attack. So the authorities went to Apple, and Apple refused to crack it. If you remember this, so the authorities go to Apple and they say, "Hey, can you crack this?" Apple says, "Yes, we can." No, we
That
will
was
not.
all Truman show. That was all for show. It's a Truman
And
show.
then what happens is the feds crack it on their own.
Or Apple cracks
Very
it for them,
simple.
and
They
they play
hired
this
they hired other
media.
people to crack it, and they cracked it, and then that was it.
Or Apple cracked it, and they play the Truman Show where they say, "Oh, we can't crack it," and then they go behind the scenes and crack it. I mean, you're like the puppet.
That actually makes a lot of sense. Like Apple cracks it, but they play it off to the public like, "Oh no, we would never do that to our customers or whatever," right? That's actually an interesting PR spin.
Exactly. And an update too. Remember the British Army, the Twitter account was hacked. Remember that?
Yes, I remember you brought that up. I do.
Uh, it was discovered by the cybersecurity firm Satonic that it was North Korea behind the attack.
That makes a lot of sense. That's what I was saying. I remember I called it. I called that when I said, "Hey, I think it's a foreign entity." Remember?
Yeah,
I think I also might have said North Korea in a direct reference there as well. I
oh, I
said,
don't know
"Oh, it
about
could be
that.
someone like North Korea."
I don't
Yeah,
know
I
if you
think you
said
got to
that.
check the tape on that. I think I've made that abundantly clear.
I mean, it would be if that's correct, it would be one of the first times you were ever right.